Failure. That word alone makes most people shrink back. Nobody likes the feeling. Nobody enjoys falling down. But let me tell you this, the truth nobody talks about is that failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. When you fail, you're not finished, you're not broken, you're not useless. Failure is proof you actually tried. It's proof you stepped out when others stayed safe. It's proof you had the courage to chase something bigger than yourself. Think about it. Every winner you admire failed more times than they succeeded. Every champion tasted defeat before they tasted victory. Every strong man, every strong woman you look up to, their path is built on mistakes, setbacks, and moments where they almost gave up. The difference? They didn't stay down. And that's where this message starts. Failure. That word crushed more dreams than rejection, than pain, than anything else. Not because failure is deadly, but because people misunderstand it. Most people think failure is a label. They fall once, they mess up once, they hear one no, and suddenly they stamp themselves with this label, failure. They carry it around like a curse, as if it's who they are. But let me tell you something real. Failure is not you. Failure is a moment. It's an event. It's a single page in your book, not the whole story. Think about it. When a baby learns to walk, they fall again and again. Do we call them failures? No. We clap, we cheer, we say, come on, get up, try again. Because we know those falls aren't proof of weakness, they're proof of growth. So why, when we grow up, do we suddenly treat failure like it's the end of the road? Why do we let it decide our worth? The truth is, failure is not the enemy. Failure is the teacher. Let me put it this way. Success is built on the bricks of failure. Every time you mess up, every time you fall short, every time you miss the mark, you've just discovered another way that doesn't work. And that's valuable. That's gold. That's wisdom most people never gain because they were too afraid to try in the first place. Failure is feedback. It's life's way of saying, not this way, but keep moving, adjust, learn, grow. But here's the problem. Most people stop at the feedback. They get one rejection letter and they quit writing. They lose one game and they quit the sport. They mess up one relationship and they close their heart forever. That's not failure, that's surrender. Failure was meant to grow you, not bury you. And when you understand that, you start to see failure for what it really is. Proof that you had the guts to step out. Proof that you were brave enough to risk something. Proof that you are on the journey. Because listen carefully, people who never fail are people who never try. They stay safe, they stay comfortable, they never step outside the box. But you, the fact that you failed means you're in the arena. You're swinging, you're moving, you're living. Let me tell you something personal. You are not less because you failed. You are more. You are wiser. You are stronger. You are becoming. Every great name you've ever admired, Oprah, Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, they all faced failure that could have destroyed them. Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Rowling's manuscript was rejected dozens of times. Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he started. Failure is universal. Nobody escapes it. The only difference between those who rise and those who stay down is this. The ones who rise refuse to let failure define them. And here's where it hits deep. Failure is not a scarlet letter on your forehead. It's a badge of honor. It says, I showed up, I tried, I cared enough to risk it all. So the next time you fall short, don't hang your head in shame. Lift it with pride. You're in the fight. You're growing. You're shaping into someone unshakable.
Because when you understand failure, when you truly grasp what it means, you stop running from it. You stop fearing it. Instead, you use it. You take the lesson, the pain, the setback, and you turn it into fuel. You say, this failure doesn't define me, my response does. And that's the secret. Failure doesn't decide your destiny, you do. Failure can break you or it can build you. The choice is yours. So let this sink in right now. Failure is not your end. It's your edge. It's the sharpening of your blade. It's the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. When you fail, don't see it as proof you're weak. See it as proof you're alive, proof you're human, proof you're brave enough to chase something worth falling for. Because in the end, failure is really not failure unless you quit. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you rise. Now listen, I know this sounds crazy, me saying failure is your friend. You might be sitting there thinking, how can the thing that hurts me the most be my friend? But let me break it down for you in a way you'll never forget. Failure is not here to destroy you, it's here to prepare you. Think about your closest friends for a moment. They don't always tell you what you want to hear, right? They tell you what you need to hear. They call you out when you're messing up. They check you when you're slipping. They might make you uncomfortable in the moment, but you're better because of them. And that's exactly what failure does. It shows you your blind spots. It exposes your weaknesses. It reveals the cracks in your plan. It doesn't do it to embarrass you. It does it to strengthen you. Because what's revealed can be healed. See, without failure, you'd never know what you're made of. You'd never know how strong your backbone really is. You'd never discover the grit that lives inside of you. Pain and struggle are what pull that fire out of you. You can't build muscle without resistance. You can't build strength without weight. And you can't build greatness without failure. Let me give you a picture. Imagine life like a video game. Every time you fail, you're not losing, you're learning the map. You're discovering where the traps are, where the shortcuts are, where the hidden treasures are. Failure is guiding you. It's pointing you to a better route. But most people never pick up the controller again. They fail once and throw the game away. They walk off defeated. Not you. You're here because something inside you refuses to quit. Let me remind you of something powerful. Some of your biggest blessings are hidden inside your biggest failures. That job you didn't get, it taught you to refine your skills. That relationship that fell apart, it showed you what love should and shouldn't look like. That dream that didn't work out the first time, it taught you patience, persistence, and humility. And here's the beautiful part. Failure doesn't just teach you about the world, it teaches you about yourself. When you fall, you learn what triggers your doubt. You learn what tests your patience. You learn how badly you want it. And in those moments, you discover something priceless. You're stronger than you thought. That's why I call failure a friend. It doesn't sugarcoat life. It doesn't let you get comfortable. It forces you to grow up. It forces you to fight harder. It forces you to become the version of yourself you didn't even know existed. But here's the catch. Like any friend, you've got to listen. You've got to be humble enough to hear the lesson. You can't let your pride blind you. You can't let your ego trick you into thinking you know it all. Because failure doesn't hate you, it's coaching you. And the best athletes, the best leaders, the best dreamers, they all listen to their coaches. Think about Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the electric light bulb. He failed thousands of times before he got it right. Thousands! Most people would have given up after 10 tries. But Edison, he looked at every single failure like a step forward. He said, I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mentality you need. Failure isn't your wall, it's your ladder. Every rung takes you higher, even if it feels shaky.
All right, let's get real. It's one thing to say failure is my friend, but it's another thing to actually live that out.
Because when you fall flat on your face, when you get rejected, when your plans collapse, it doesn't feel like a friend. It feels like betrayal. It feels like defeat. It feels like the whole world is laughing at you. So how do you embrace failure when everything inside you wants to run away from it? The first step is this: change the way you see it. Stop labeling failure as the end. Start labeling it as the beginning. Every time you fail, you are not falling backward, you are falling forward. You are gathering information. You are picking up data. You are learning what works and what doesn't. Think about it. When a baby learns to walk, they don't get up and start sprinting on the first try. They wobble, they fall, they cry. But what do? They get up again. And nobody looks at that baby and says, "You're a failure." They clap, they cheer, they celebrate the effort. So why do you treat yourself so harshly when you stumble? You've got to start looking at yourself with the same grace you'd give that baby. Failure isn't proof you're weak, it's proof you're trying. Second step, sit with the pain instead of running from it. When failure hits, most people numb themselves, they distract themselves, they pretend it doesn't hurt. But that pain, that sting in your chest, that knot in your stomach, that's not your enemy, that's your teacher. Sit with it, feel it, let it burn, because inside that pain is the lesson you need most. If you ignore it, you'll repeat it, but if you embrace it, you'll grow from it. Third step, ask the right questions. Instead of saying, "Why me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "What can I do differently next time?" The quality of your questions determines the quality of your growth. If you only ask weak questions, you'll only get weak answers. But when you ask strong, brave, honest questions, you unlock wisdom. Failure is a mirror. It reflects back exactly what needs to change. But you've got to be bold enough to look into it. Fourth step, keep moving. This is where most people quit. They fall and they never get back up. They take failure as a full stop instead of a comma. But you can't stop here. Think about riding a bike. The first time you fell, did you just throw the bike away forever? No, you got back on. You scraped your knee, but you tried again. And eventually you rode with confidence. That's life. Every stumble is just part of the balance game. Keep showing up. Keep trying. Keep moving forward, even if it's small steps. Progress beats perfection every single time. Fifth step, turn your scars into strength. Everybody has a story of failure. The difference is some people hide theirs and some people wear them like armor. Don't be ashamed of your scars. Don't be embarrassed by your mistakes. Own them, share them, use them to inspire others. Because listen, people don't connect with your perfection. They connect with your struggle. They connect with your humanity. They connect with the times you fell and have the courage to rise. That's how you embrace failure, not as a shameful secret, but as a badge of honor. Every scar says, "I tried. I refuse to quit. I'm still here." And the final step, remind yourself that failure is not final unless you quit. That's the only way failure wins. If you stop moving, if you stop believing, if you stop trying. But as long as you're breathing, your story is still being written. Failure is just a chapter, not the whole book. Let me tell you something powerful. Every single person you admire, every leader, every champion, every success story, they've all been through failure. The only difference between them and the people who gave up is this: they embraced it. They used it as fuel. They turned their L into lessons instead of losses. So the next time you fail, I want you to smile through the tears and say, "This isn't the end of me. This is the shaping of me. This is my training ground. This is my preparation for greatness." Failure is not here to bury you. It's here to build you. So embrace it, welcome it, walk with it, and let it transform you into someone unstoppable. Because when you learn to embrace failure, life stops being something to fear and starts being something to conquer. Here's the truth. Failure is not the end. Failure is raw energy. And energy can either destroy you, or you can learn how to take it, flip it, and turn it into fuel. That's where the real transformation happens. That's when failure becomes power. Think about fire. Fire can burn you. It can reduce everything you've built into ashes. But fire can also warm you. It can cook your food. It can light your path in the dark. It's the same fire, but how you use it makes all the difference. Failure works the same way. If you let it, it can break you. But if you choose differently, it can shape you, strengthen you, and fuel you to reach heights you never imagined. So how do you turn failure into power? The first step is shift your focus. Most people stare at the failure itself. They replay it in their minds like a broken record. I messed up, I lost, I wasn't good enough. That's like staring at the fire that burnt your hand, instead of using the fire to light your way forward. Stop focusing on the fall. Start focusing on what comes next. Power isn't in the past, it's in the response. Failure doesn't define you, how you respond does. The second step, use failure as fuel, not chains. Every time you fail, you've got two choices. Let it chain you down, or let it fire you up. If people doubted you, if someone said you couldn't do it, good, that's fuel. If you doubted yourself, if you hit rock bottom, good, that's fuel. Use the frustration, use the embarrassment, use the disappointment. Turn that pain into drive. Let it light a fire in you that says, I'm not done, I'm not broken, I'm not quitting until I win. The third step, collect the lessons. Every failure has a gift hidden inside it, but most people never unwrap it. Why? Because they're too busy sulking in the pain. Don't waste your failure like that. Squeeze it. Dig into it. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What did this teach me about myself? What can I do better? When Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times to make the light bulb, he didn't see them as failures. He said, I found 1,000 ways that don't work. Every no was one step closer to yes. That's power. That's turning failure into progress. The fourth step, share your scars. Listen, people may admire your success, but they connect with your struggles. You inspire people more by showing them the storms you survived than by pretending you've always had sunny skies. When you talk about your failures, you give other people permission to keep going through theirs. Your scars become a roadmap for someone else's survival. That's real power, when your lowest moments become someone else's light of hope. The fifth step, build resilience through repetition. You want to know what makes people unstoppable? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's resilience. It's the ability to keep showing up after failure. Every time you fall and rise again, you're training your spirit. You're building mental armor. You're becoming harder to break. Failure is like weights in the gym. The first time, it feels heavy, it hurts. You want to quit. But the more you lift, the stronger you get. Soon, the very weight that crushed you becomes the weight that built you. That's resilience. That's power. The sixth step, turn failure into your story of victory. Look at every great movie, every inspiring speech, every legendary figure. You'll see the same thing. Their story wasn't built on smooth sailing. It was built on storms. Their greatness wasn't born from comfort. It was forged in fire. Your failures are part of your story. Don't erase them, embrace them. They are what make your victory real, authentic, worth celebrating. Without failure, success is hollow. With failure, success tastes sweeter than you could ever imagine. And finally, the seventh step, decide that failure will not break you, it will make you. This is the ultimate power. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about refusing to be destroyed by it. It's about standing up every time and saying, I'm still here. I'm not done yet. Because that's the truth. Failure doesn't kill dreams. Quitting does. If you don't quit, you cannot lose. Every setback just becomes a setup for a greater comeback. So here's the bottom line. Stop running from failure. Stop fearing it. Start owning it. Start using it. Take the pain, the lessons,
the scars, the fire,
and turn it into fuel for your purpose, your passion, your fight. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the pathway to it. Every failure brings you closer, sharpens you, and prepares you. Failure doesn't make you powerless, failure makes you powerful, if you let it. So the next time life knocks you down, I want you to smile and whisper to yourself, "This is not the end. This is the making of me. This is my power." Because when you learn to turn failure into power, you stop being afraid of falling. And when you stop being afraid of falling, there's nothing in this world that can stop you from rising. So let me ask you, what are you going to do with your failure? Hide from it or embrace it? Run from it or rise because of it? Your story is not over just because you messed up. Your journey doesn't end because you fell down. Your failure today can be the foundation for your victory tomorrow, but only if you choose to keep going. So stop fearing failure. Start using it. Let it sharpen you. Let it drive you. Let it remind you that you're alive, you're trying, and you're not done yet. If you've been knocked down, this is your sign to rise, to go again, to push harder, to prove to yourself that failure is not the end. And listen, if this message hit you, if you felt something deep inside, don't just click away. Subscribe, join this family, because this is the place where we remind each other we're built for more. Together we rise, together we embrace failure, and together we win. Your failure doesn't define you. Your decision to keep going does. Now it's your move.